Favor isn't luck, it's a law. Hey, I'm Dr. Dave Martin, your success coach, and today on the show, we're going to be talking about the law of favor and how giving first unlocks multiplication in your life. Discover why generosity is the greatest accelerator, how connecting others leads to unexpected blessings, and how to activate a favor flow in your life starting today. All that's happening right here on The Dave Martin Show. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to today's show. I am excited to share with you, what I want to talk to you about today. I think it's going to be something incredibly powerful in your life. It's something that I learned really to activate almost 30 years ago and has been an incredible difference maker. So, hey, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, share this with someone else. And as always, I love to hear from you. I love to hear how the show is helping you, things that you're hearing, the teachings. It encourages me. And so when I share this with you, like I said, I discovered this probably almost 30 years ago, 3 decades ago, and I couldn't describe my journey of networking, my journey of relationships and success, really, without this powerful principle. I actually wrote a book about it. It's my very first book. I meant to have a copy of it here to show you. Actually, I have a copy right over here. It's called The Force of Favor. The Force of Favor. If you don't have this book, well, after today, I know you're going to want to get a hold of it, because I'm going to share some of the principles with you from it today. It's not just the kind of favor, I guess, something that you just kind of hope for, but I believe that you can position yourself for this. In the book, I tell you 7 ways to increase your favor. How do you increase favor? So this episode today is all about the law of favor and how it works with networking and how giving really unlocks multiplication in our life. So we're going to dig into the go-giver mindset. How do you get your mindset in the right place? Why generosity is really the secret accelerator to influence, and how that makes a difference in your networking, and how connecting the dots for others is the key to seeing favor in your own life. So let's jump into it. Favor isn't luck, it's a law. First things first, you got to understand that. People all the time will say to me, Dave, you are just so lucky. How that happened to you, that's just, man, you're over and over again. I've heard it throughout my life. You're just so lucky. Well, I don't believe in luck at all. What is when oh my goodness, I was just prepared, and when luck hit, there was a great quote. I just can't remember it right off the top of my head. But here's what I want you to know. Like I said, I could talk about this subject all day. My revelation on favor really radically changed my life, and to this day, like I said, it's the first book I ever wrote. It was this revelation on favor, and to this day, every 3 months when the royalty checks come in, it is still my number one selling book 20-something years later. So it's not about being in the right place at the right time just by chance, but it's really about having a heart posture, having a right heart, having right habits, and having right mindsets. All those things together really will help not just you find favor, it will help favor find you. It doesn't find the lucky, it finds the faithful. I say this in the very beginning of the book, and just the introduction of the book is worth it. And so I'm doing a newer kind of condensed version in something new that I'm working on connecting. And whatever you recognize, you become thankful for. Whatever you're thankful for increases in your life. Whatever you recognize, you become thankful for. As I've learned to recognize God's favor in the little things and celebrate it in the little things, whatever you recognize, you become thankful for. And I begin to thank God for favor. I begin to see it increase into the other areas of my life. And then that's not just a cute little line I'm saying. It's really a divine law, the law of recognition. Favor flows to those who recognize it and become thankful for it. When I'm looking for a parking spot and all of a sudden the front parking spot opens up. Thank you, Lord, for favor. right? You ever been at the grocery store and the person in front of you has a cart full of stuff and you've got one thing and they're like, oh, you just have one thing? Go ahead, you can go in front of me. Thank you, Lord, for favor. See, you say, really? You think that's whatever you recognize, you become thankful for? And so I've become very thankful in all the little things that happen to me all the time. And favor begins to flow. It flows to those who flow in generosity. I'm telling you, it's not about just giving to get. It's about living to give. And giving is not just about money. You got to think of it way beyond money when we talk about generosity, because when you release, God increase. You'll see God's increase. When you release, you'll see God's increase. And that could be anything from relationships to finances. Everything is a seed. Everything in life is a seed. Anything that blesses someone else. Words are seeds. Encouragement is a seed. A smile is a seed. Anything that blesses someone else is a seed. The law of addition. John Maxwell talks about the law of addition, about adding value. Great leaders add value. That's generosity. How can I add value to you? How can I be generous with my time, with my understanding, with my wisdom? Joel Osteen always says it like this: when you bless others, God will bless you. It's a spiritual principle. It's a life principle. Giving isn't just a sacrifice. You've got to look at it as a seed. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to begin to shift your mindset from how can I get ahead to how can I lift someone else up today? Not what am I going to get out of this, but what can I help someone else get out of this? The fastest way to grow your network, which is what we've been talking about over the last 4 episodes of the podcast, don't look at it as how can I climb, but look at it, how can I lift? Instead of how can I climb, how can I live? Don't focus on collecting contacts. Focus on being a catalyst. It'll really change. It'll change the way you see things, and it'll change what you get from situations. So a go-giver, right? Ask kind of, what can I give in this relationship? What can I give today? How can I help? I go into situations all the time. What can I do here to help someone else? Not what am I going to get out of today? What resource do I have? What relationship do I have? What idea do I have that could elevate someone else? When you begin to live your life like this, see all the principles I've shared over the past 4 weeks on networking and what I'm going to share over the next few weeks, and I hope it's helping you. I love to hear from you if it is. I love to get a comment or see what you're getting out of these podcasts. But I everything I do expecting nothing in return from those people. Now, I expect return, right? Ephesians 6:8, what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. Now, I don't expect it from people. I do expect it from God. Because what I make happen for others, now if I expect them to bring something back to me, well, I did this for you. I did you a favor. Now you owe me. I don't want anyone to owe me anything. But and people will let you down, but God will never let you down. So if I expect my reward to come from God, that's a whole different thing. I've learned this, people are drawn to givers. People are drawn to givers. They talk about givers in rooms that givers are not even in. They promote givers without even being asked. That's favor. I call it the favor flow. When you live an open-handed life, I've got a friend I was talking to just this week who is just such a generous person in his relationships, in opportunities, everything. He's looking for, how can I open doors? How can I connect? How can I bring someone along with me? Now, if you live your life expecting, if I bring someone along with me, listen, I've been disappointed many times helping someone, and they forget who helped them. They get to where they need to be, and then they forgot who got them there, who opened the door. And if I live my life waiting for them to bring it back to me, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be upset. Listen, I'm a human. You pinch me, it's real. It's flesh. I get upset sometimes. What do you mean? Do you even know how you got in that room? I'm the one that opened that. I've had to learn to live my life. You know what? I live open-handed. It's not about me. What I make happen for others, God makes happen for me. So when you live open-handed, and blessings begin to circle back to you every single time. So what I want you to do this week, before we get back together, try to lead one conversation, not by pitching yourself, not by talking about you, but by solving a problem. Listen, when you get into a conversation, listen for problems that you could solve. Listen for problems. What problem can you solve for someone else? People ask me all the time about money, and I've got a newer book that came out talking about money, and money's not a mystery. People are like, what is it's so mysterious. Money's not a mystery. Money is a reward for solving problems. When you solve problems, money is the reward. People pay you for solving problems, and everything was created to solve a problem. I remember years ago, I was speaking in Orlando at a business event. I just finished a session, and a young guy walked up to me, and he didn't ask for a picture. He didn't ask for me to sign a book for him or anything like that. He didn't even try to pitch himself. He just said, "Hey, Dr. Dave, I noticed that you were having some issues with your Pro Presenter, with your screen, and what you were having up on the screen, a few issues. And I work in AV, and if I could help, I'd love to help you. If you wouldn't mind, I could help troubleshoot that and get it fixed before your next session." He wasn't there to take. He wasn't there to get something. He was there to give. He said, "How can I help?" Well, not only did we accept his help, which we were grateful for, we ended up inviting him to serve on our team. And at several future events, we brought him in, and now he runs a thriving consulting business, one of the top in his field, all because he led with value, not with ego. He came in not looking at what he could get, but what he could give. It makes all the difference. And I'm telling you, favor follows the generous. Favor follows the generous. It's just a law. So if you only use your relationships for yourself, you will shrink your influence. I want you to look at being a bridge. Picture a bridge. What does a bridge do? It connects this part of the land with this part of the land, right? It's connecting. Being the bridge connects the dots for other people. But when you use relationships to bless other people, you will multiply. You'll find that you multiply your own impact. When you become the bridge, bridges never go out of business. They're really important. Where I grew up, I remember when Hurricane Katrina came through, and it wiped out the bridge between the little town I grew up in, Ocean Springs, and Biloxi, the bigger town. And now to get from Ocean Springs to Biloxi, the Bay Bridge that it took out, you had to go all the way up and around the top of the bay on the north side up to Interstate 10 and back down. And it added so much extra time until they could get the new bridge built. They didn't say, well, I guess we don't really need that bridge after all. No, it was super an important bridge. So bridges never go out of business. In the speaking arena, in the speaking business, I find that a lot of speakers to be pretty selfish people. They don't want to share their contacts. They don't want to, well, that's my contact. What if I tell someone else about you, then what? Maybe I won't get the speaking engagement. And I'm thinking, well, that's just the worst kind of mindset you can have if you want to release favor and connection in your life. You know how many people I have helped build their speaking business? Either through teaching them the principles or teaching them how to build it, or by opening doors for them, by making calls and giving them opportunities, or telling someone else, man, hey, I know you had me at that event this year, but next year I got a guy you should really check out. I think he'd be real good for you. I'm always looking at opportunities of ways to make those connections. If you help enough other people get what they want, I'm telling you, you will always get what you want. If you'll help enough other people get where they want to go, you're always going to end up where you want to go. And here's why. Here's why. When you help others, when you are the giver in the relationship, you elevate your reputation. You become someone people trust. You create a ripple effect that will a blessing that will impact your life for many, many years to come. Your favor will often flow through someone else's success. Sometimes your breakthrough comes when you become the breakthrough for someone else. So I'm telling you, when you go into this whole understanding of networking and connecting the dots, you've got to go into it not expecting anything in return. Everything I do is to help others. What you make happen for others, God makes happen for you. So here's what I want you to do this week. Here's another action step for you. Make one intentional introduction this week. Okay, who can I connect with someone else? Yesterday, someone reached out to me in a group chat with another guy, says, hey, you two have got to meet. You two have got to meet. Well, this guy that did that, I've helped him many times. Now, there's been many times he could have helped me, he didn't, but this moment he did. He made the connection. He reached out. What can I do this week? Who can I connect with someone else this week? Someone you know needs someone else that you know. Who do you know that I need to know, right? Be the bridge. What do you know that I need to know? Who do you know that I need to know? There's this compounding effect that begins to take place. So look for that opportunity this week, okay? Who do you know that someone else needs to know? And make the connection between them. Just like money compounds over time, favor does as well. It will. The coffee you paid for last year, the connection you made with someone 3 years ago, the small seed of encouragement you planted, all that is growing. All that, it's growing, it's multiplying, it's compounding. And it doesn't always come back where you sowed. Remember, I said that doesn't come back where you sowed, but it'll always come back. What you sowed will always come back. Generosity is relational compound interest. You may forgot the seed. You may, oh man, I forgot to even help them. God didn't forget that. Every seed you sow, God doesn't forget it. And most of the time, people don't either. Like I said, every now and then, it's the rule of harvest, right? You always reap more than you sow. You always reap more than you sow. That's why I've had a great time helping other people. People call me probably every week. Someone calls me, hey, I'm going to be here. Can you connect me with someone? Hey, do you know a business? Hey, I've wanted to speak at this organization. And I'm helping everyone all the time. And you know what? Gosh, I've been in this business for 30 years, and I've never lacked for a place to speak. Why? Because I've helped so many other people find places to speak. It's just how it works. It's the rule of the harvest. Your seed may leave your hand, but it doesn't leave your life. It just goes into your future where it multiplies and comes back to you. Everything is a seed. Sowing and reaping is a life principle. It's not a money principle. It's a life principle. So I would encourage you this week, send a note. Write a note to somebody. Send a text to someone. Give an unexpected gift. I just sent a gift yesterday. It'll be arriving tomorrow. I can't wait for the people to get it. It's unexpected. They're not expecting that to come from me. Sow something this week. Do something this week and let the multiplication begin. Okay? You are highly favored. People ask me all the time, how are you? I said, I'm highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. My son is getting, well, he's got too many tattoos, but anyway, he's got some tattoos on his arm, and I think just so he could get more, he said, Dad, I want something with your handwriting. Can you write something, and I'm gonna get it tattooed? He had me do it. He had his mom do it, and so I wrote highly favored, and so he has highly favored tattooed on his arm in my handwriting. I said, but remember, it's not just a tattoo, not just some handwriting. You are highly favored. So have an expectation, because favor is like a magnet. Favor is magnetic. It's a mindset. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you show up to serve. Favor is not a one-time event. Favor is a lifestyle. And when you step into the force of favor, this book is going crazy right now through Keller Williams. They've been buying these books, and a good friend of mine, Dana Gentry, she got a hold of it. Said, "Man, this has been one of the most impactful books." And talk about favor. She's told a whole lot of other people about it, and now more and more people are getting a hold of it. And so, favor is not a one-time event. I learned to live a lifestyle of favor. So it's not just one thing that happens. I'm in constant expectation of God's favor. People who live in favor, they don't compete, they collaborate. You want to live a lifestyle of favor? Don't withhold, release. Don't manipulate, add value. Because of that, doors fly open and tables are set and rooms are prepared that I could have never got in on my own. But favor, the path of favor led me there. So here's the part I love most. Favor creates a circle, not a straight line. Here's what it looks like. So you picture the circle. You give. When you give, you receive. When you receive, when you give, let's look at it like this. You give, they receive. So whoever you gave to, they receive. Now, they tell somebody, "You're not going to believe this." They tell someone, that's somebody. Now, man, I heard, man, you've been so good. I hear about you all the time. You've been so good to people. Now that person opens a door for you. Not the person you even gave to, but they heard about what you do for others, and they say, "I got to help too. I want to do something for you." And now that person opens a door for you. You walk through that door, and now you're thankful for that, so you give again. When you give again, they receive. They tell somebody else. Someone hears about it. They open a door for you. All of a sudden, you walk through that door. You're grateful. You give again. And you create this circle of giving. I call it thanks and giving. Thanks, not Thanksgiving. Thanks and giving. Thanksgiving and blessing and thankfulness and giving and receiving. It just kind of begins this circle. So the cycle just keeps going. What's your part? Stay faithful in giving, be generous, and God handles all the rest. So here's the truth I want you to take home today. We're out of time, but I want you to understand this. Live generously. Live generously. Network generously. When you walk into a relationship, don't look for what you can get, look for what you can give, and give before you ask. Here's something else I learned. Never negotiate with a giver. I remember one time a guy offered me something. I said, "Well, what about this?" I started negotiating back and forth with him. Well, if you do, and this guy was a very generous person. If I would have just said, "Hey," and I learned this a long time ago in my early 20s. Hey, if I'm a generous person, so now I expect it to come back to me. And so I quit negotiating, because if I wouldn't have negotiated, I would have got a lot more. He would have done a lot more than what I was even asking for. But if I let God handle it, never negotiate with a giver. You'll never have to chase favor, because favor will be chasing you. Every dot you connect, every person that you serve, every gift that you sow is setting up for doors to open that you haven't even seen yet. You can't even see yet. The measure of a great life isn't how much you've connected or collected. It's how much you've connected. Okay? So connect some dots, give first, watch God do the rest. There's really a supernatural part of this whole networking, and I hope you got it. I hope it helped you. I'm putting this all together. You're going to want to get this book. Did I even tell you I'm going to work on a book for this whole thing? It's going to be awesome. Hey, thanks for listening today. Share this with someone else. It'll encourage them. If it blessed you, I'm Dr. Dave Martin. I'm your success coach. I love having the opportunity to speak into your life, to mentor you. I'm grateful for all of the proteges that God has sent into my life that I can help achieve the great things that God's put in them and the purpose that God's put in them. So let's stay connected, stay generous, keep following the path of favor, and I'll see you next week. Like, subscribe, share. Let me hear from you. Thanks for watching.